All right, is that better for you guys? Can you guys hear a little bit better with that? All right, so I'm just adjusting some stuff on here. Just bear with me. All right, so Brad just sent me a message. He can hear better. Yeah, so the mic I was using worked pretty well for a while, so I don't know what's going on with it. When Brad and I were at Letchworth Village, it kind of went a little bit haywire, and there's no sound at all. And now there's static. So, all right, awesome. Thanks for joining, Stacy. Hi, Christina. Brad's here with us too. So, like I said, well, you guys probably didn't hear it in the beginning because it was static. My plan is to just try to sit down every Sunday with either myself or other members of the team, and just kind of go over like what we're doing, what we have going on, places we've been, and stuff like that, and maybe even just chat about like the latest video that we just dropped or the video that we have upcoming. A lot of times what we've been doing is either releasing a video on like a Thursday or Friday, or we've been releasing it on Monday. So another thing with these sit downs is to try to get your guys' input on what you guys want to see as far as content for the video. Hey, Brad. Brad's a little emoji. Actually, I can see the chat just fine, so I'm gonna. That's kind of distracting with that on. So actually, hey guys, so let me know and let the team know what you guys want to see, because me and Brad and other team members have been talking about it as far as like length of the videos. Do you guys like the full length hour videos? Do you guys like them split up into like say 2 half-hour videos? Or some people even say they like the short 10-minute, 15-minute videos that are 2 or 3 parts. So your guys' feedback is awesome. Like that's what we like to hear, and we try to accommodate, what the majority of people would like to see on our videos. So just let us know either in the comment section on the videos. Let us know through the Facebook group. Sit down chats like this. That's what we're intending these for. So that way you guys can give you your input, and we'll try our best to accommodate it. So the latest video we just put out was from Letchworth, and that's about a 15-minute video. The video before that was about half hour, but we do have some hour length ones there. So um, everyone's preference is a little bit different, where some people like to see what leads up to certain events. Some people would just like to see, just like the bare bones evidence of what we collect. So like I said, just, when you guys get a minute, just let us know, and we'll try to accommodate it as much as we can. Brad, Brad has POW surround sound going, so. Yeah, so guys, a couple of things that I wanted to talk about was like the recent upload of Letchworth. If you guys have seen it, not only from the cemetery but from the location itself. That location was pretty intense back in the day. I mean, that's known to be one of the most haunted locations in New York. So I'm curious, being local, like any of our local viewers, how many people have been to Letchworth, or have heard stories about there, because just the small amount of time that we spend there, we seem to get some crazy activity. So I don't know if you guys have watched the videos, but it's pretty nuts. So another thing I wanted to talk about is just the upcoming schedule that we have going on, and upcoming investigation at Greystone Manor, because I think everybody in our team's pretty excited to go back to Greystone Manor. And that was like kind of ties into what I was talking about before with the length of the videos. When we put out the Greystone investigation, we kind of did like a series of videos. I think there was actually 4 parts to it. So those were the shorter 10, 15-minute length videos, as opposed to one big video. So if you guys get a chance to watch those, we definitely caught a ton of activity there. One day, me and Brad were kind of trying to do like a ranking of our most haunted locations that we've been to, and we kind of had like a checklist as far as Did this location check off all these boxes? Did it check off being like EVPs captured, spirit box captured? Did we have any experience seeing any shadow figures, disembodied voices, REM pod activity? And Greystone pretty much checked them all at one point. So if you guys get a chance, go back through and make sure you catch up on those Greystone videos, because that's where we will be investigating next, and on the 12th of February. And I'm sure we're going to be going live at some point there. So if you guys get a chance to check out those videos, you won't be disappointed. That, like I said, that's one of the most haunted places we've actually been to, like as a consensus of a group. Because whenever we go, different members experience different things on these investigations. So not everyone experiences like the same level activity as the next person. So I know, like for example, when we went to Van Horn Mansion, um, I was pretty much the only one who felt like we had a ton of activity there, where the other members of the team felt like it was pretty quiet and laid low. But I heard a male whispering. I heard footsteps right behind me. I heard a loud bang when I was upstairs, just like a whole bunch of stuff um, that the other team didn't experience. Because when we went, we pretty much split up into two teams. One of us would take upstairs, and the second group would take like downstairs. So it just seemed like that second group wasn't getting a ton of activity, whereas where we were getting it. So, but at Greystone, that everybody experienced a lot. I mean, if you guys actually got a chance, I don't know if how many of you guys saw the post I did yesterday in the Facebook group, but it was actually featured on the world's most terrifying places on the Discovery Channel, or on the Travel Channel. I'm sorry. So if you guys get a chance to rewatch that, if you have like DVR or TiVo or streaming services, whatever you have, check out the Travel Channel's most terrifying places, and Greystone was featured on there. Um, yeah, so we're going back there February 12th. We're going to have some guest investigators with us. We do have a couple of guest investigators joining us throughout the first half of the year. Um, so as it gets closer, we'll let you know for sure who's joining us. Um, I'm pretty sure the two investigators are joining us on Greystone. I just don't want to throw out the names yet, just in case something happens and they don't get to join. Um, but I know in March 12th, we are actually going to another haunted bed and breakfast called the Allegiance B&B, and we have Beyond the Grave paranormal investigations joining us on that one for sure. Like I said, Greystone, I think we're gonna have two different guest, maybe up to like three guest investigators. Because these places are pretty big, so we're looking forward to that. We like to do a lot of collaborations with a lot of different groups. You learn different investigating techniques. You guys experience different videos too, because that's one thing that's cool. Knowing that two different or three different teams were at a location, and you get to watch three different perspectives of that investigation, which I think is pretty unique too. So make sure you guys follow the page if you don't already, the Paranormal of Watertown Facebook group. That's where we post a lot of updates. Yeah, Brad. So, like I was telling everybody before, everybody is pretty excited to go back to Greystone. I think that's definitely in the top three. I think when we were figuring it out at that one point, it was in our top location. And we've been to some pretty crazy locations. So, we've been to Penhurst, Conjuring House, White Hill Mansion, Rolling Hills Asylum. I mean, we try to hit the most haunted places within our driving range, like within a weekend's trip or something like that. So Greystone certainly lived up to it. So we just actually wrapped up Chase Manor too. So if you guys follow the channel, you guys saw our live stream from there. So we have an upcoming video from Chase Manor, and that was actually my second time being there. Um, Yeah, Brad. So Brad's letting you know we are on Facebook. So Paranormal Watertown on Facebook. On TikTok, we do some short little funny videos on there. Some of the videos will actually show some of the evidence, but that's just Paranormal of Watertown, one word, on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Twitter, all Paranormal of Watertown. So if you guys follow, some people are on certain social media sites and not the others. So we try to cover everything. So if you guys jump on any of those, we try to update those as much as we can, as far as when we're going live, when we're doing locations, and when a new video drops. Um, So Chase Manor was actually really active, and that one is something that we're pretty excited about because it's pretty much in our backyard. It's only an hour and a half away, and we saw or we heard of Chase Manor because Exploring with Josh went there. So it popped up, and it was known as the Auburn Horror House. So that that instinctively catches your eye or catches your ear just hearing that. So looking back into the history of the house, it was the land itself was pre like Revolutionary War, like a Revolutionary War soldier actually lived in that house. And when you guys watch the videos, you guys will actually see like the old foundation of his house and whatnot. So we do have a full video coming from there. Brad said Chase was very active and also killed every battery I brought in. Yeah, so some of these locations they just super drain your batteries. It was a super cold night outside while we were inside, and the place has heat, so that's another bonus. A lot of these places won't have heat during the wintertime, depending on where you go. So yeah, so the first time we went there, it was Jarek and I. It was actually during a really bad windstorm. So anyone who's from like the northern New York or like western New York area, you guys probably remembered that windstorm that went across the state. So we ended up going by ourselves just because we were the closest ones to the location. So it wasn't really that big of a drive for us, whereas other people were driving 5 or 6 hours. So we went there by ourselves, and we actually had a door like slam shut on us. And that was probably the first time at a location where I actually had a door do that. I mean, we've had doors open a little bit and creaks and stuff like that, but it was a full on slamming of a door. And that's actually caught on our channel too. So if you go to the live stream from Chase Manor, the first one that's on the channel, I think it's about 16 or 17 minutes in. And you guys will see that. So it happened live as we were walking through the second floor. So make sure you guys check that out. So a couple other things I wanted to go over is just like what we have coming up. Like I touched on the Greystone Manor. We have Allegiance Bed and Breakfast in March that we're going to be joining in with another group out of like the Albany area. Um, and again, we rent out the whole location. So whenever you guys see these videos, it's not just us in one room and there's other guests that we're trying to like avoid or could potentially contaminate any evidence. It's solely ours for the night. We rent out every single room. We're usually there for 24 hours. We get there at like noon and then leave noon the next day. So we're excited about that. We actually booked probably the biggest location of this year for May 14th. It's going to be the Shanley Hotel. So I think most people that are semi-aware of like the paranormal locations know that the Shanley is up there as far as one of the more recognizable locations on the East Coast. Um, yeah, like Brad said, half the time, like the owners and managers of these properties, they're like, "Here's the keys. When you're done, lock up and let us know when you leave." So, we've been building a reputation the past 3 years of just being known as being a respectful group that can come into a location. We don't mess around as far as like damaging the property or any nonsense like that, and we just go in and do our job. We go in and we investigate. We have a good time. Um, oh, hey, bud, how's it going? Late due to cemetery walking. That's always a good reason to be late. So, I know you checked out our Letchworth Village cemetery video, which, yeah, that like I think you said, or what you said was it was just sad. Um, so yeah, so if you guys get a chance, that tongue tied. That Letchworth video is just it's crazy. When we hear about what it was just a whole bunch of essentially unmarked graves where the families of these children that they just dumped into this institution were ashamed to have their name associated, so they were just numbered. I mean, like 507, 459, just stuff like that, which was it's very sad. I mean, so I'm glad that they ended up erecting a monument for the children there. Because like when we and Brad were going through the headstones, we noticed that 90% of the headstones were like children 10 and under, which was really sad. So, and just to touch back on the Shanley investigation, Just not to be confused with the Stanley Hotel, because I know a lot of times we get that question. We're like, oh, is that where The Shining was? So no, that was in Colorado, the Stanley Hotel, um, in Estes Park, I think it's called. Um, but the Stanley Hotel, or the Shanley Hotel rather, see, I just mixed it up, is in New York. So that is known to be the most haunted hotel on the East Coast. So hopefully we'll get to the Stanley at some point out west. Well, that's going to be, probably in the future where we can, there's a ton of places that we want to go to, but based on just the logistics of it, um, it all depends on when people can get time off, time off from work. Time off from work is probably the biggest reason that hinders us from going to where we want to go. Because one good thing about our group is we have anywhere from like 6 to 8 people, 6 to 10 people, plus all the other investigators that we collaborate with, where money's not really an option as far as these locations. We want something, we book it, so we figure it out and then we make it happen. So yeah, 19-hour train rides. Yeah, so trust me, we've been looking into a whole bunch of different locations out west, Midwest, and just how to get there without it being too much of a headache. I mean, because I personally don't want to drive 19, 20 hours. I don't think anyone in our group really wants to, and we're not rich enough yet to get flown out or to have like a bus take us or a tour bus. So hopefully, as we get bigger, we'll be able to do that. So, I mean, you guys just watching the videos, thumbs up, sharing, subscribing, all that little stuff helps because it helps kick up the views for the videos, and then that will help spur like the algorithm and help get our videos out there. So thank you to everybody that keeps on sharing the videos, watching the videos. It means a lot to us, and we appreciate you guys tuning into the live streams. It's fun to go live. Um, like I've said before, I hesitate to go live just because I think we have our videos show a ton of evidence because we have 6 cameras rolling. We have 3 or 4 digital recorders going at a time. And then I sit down and go through it in a matter of a couple weeks and then take a couple weeks editing. So the final product you guys see is after everything's sifted through. So it's hard to get a real gauge for the how active a haunting is just through like a 1 hour live stream because you could sit in a room for an hour and not have anything happen. So, and again, if you guys are watching this channel, you guys know that everything we do is authentic. We're not going to fake anything in a live stream. We're not going to set anything up so something major happens. If it happens, it happens. So, what we try to do is walk through the location and not stay in one area for too long so that way it's not boring for you guys that are just sitting there watching us look at a REM pod in the dark for an hour. So, we try to keep that in mind as we're doing our live streams for you guys to try to make it as entertaining as possible and you guys to be, involved in the investigation process. So, any ideas too, as far as like what you want to see during our live streams, let us know. A lot of times we gravitate towards a spirit box just because that way you guys can hear the responses in real time. So if there's something else that you guys would want to see during the live streams, just let us know and we'll certainly try to fit it into investigations or make it a part of our investigations. So yeah, so that's where we're at for that. We do have a pretty cool location that I myself am gonna go to in July. Stacy. Oh, Stacy, that's a great question. 1812 battlefield investigations. So we actually just did not just did, but we did a like a meet and greet at Sackett's Harbor in the Sackett's Harbor Library. And for anyone familiar with like the North Country, Sackett's Harbor was known for the War of 1812. I actually live in Glen Park, which is right outside of Brownville, which was named for General Jacob Brown, and he was like the highest general of the War of 1812. So the War of 1812 is huge in our town's history, in our area's history. So we do have the Sackett's Harbor battlefield, which is the War of 1812, which I know the co-founder Dan, he's been there and investigated it a few times, and then Jess and Alyssa, I know, who are part of the group, they've been to the battlefield and investigated. And when we did our sit down meet and greet at the Sackets Harbor Library, we got some contact information on who to contact to make sure we can go to the battlefield and not get like trespassing or anything like that. So we haven't been there yet, just because any location we go to, we try to make sure we have full access to it. We have full permission to be there. So that way we can thoroughly do a good investigation and not have to worry about getting cops called on us or anything like that. So, yeah, so we definitely had members of the group that have been to those locations. And Dan said he's gotten like what sounded like cannon fire on EVP. Um, so, yeah, we're going to try to look into that as it warms up a little bit. It's tough doing it during the winter time because it's so cold outside. Sometimes, I mean, when Brad and I went to Letchworth, it was freezing out, but we just thought, we were both off that day and it was an awesome location to try to go to. So, we just went. But as far as the Sackett's Harbor battlefield, we also were told that I forgot what they said. I think there's a mini like little museum there too that they said was haunted, because a couple of the members that joined us in Sackett said that they've experienced a ton of stuff there, and I think they've actually done little investigations themselves. So yeah, so we're definitely going to look to do a little bit more local stuff. Um, yeah, so Brad said we need to go to Gettysburg. I've been looking at that too. So um, my mind never stops about like locations that we try to go to. I'm constantly looking up like Gettysburg Civil War area, battlefields, bed and breakfasts that were built during the Civil War, or like little houses that used to be like field hospitals or orphanages and stuff like that. So we have a short list of all these places that we want to go to. It's just a matter of like figuring out like the logistics of it and squeezing it into the schedule. So actually, I just missed this comment, so I'm pop back up here. Yeah, Brad, I think you're right. I think it was like a little museum um, at the Sackets. So yeah, so guys, the last thing that I want to kind of touch on is our group has been discussing on how to get members of either like the Paranormal Watertown Facebook page or just subscribers of the channel, how to get them involved more on like actual investigations, as far as not just viewing it live, but actually joining us on an investigation, like either setting up something where we bring a whole team of like people who want to investigate, or we run a contest where you will come investigate with the whole group. So we've been working on this for a while. I know we've been saying it for a while, but we want to make sure we do it right. We want to make sure when we have somebody join us on an investigation that they have a 100% enjoyable experience. So we've been trying to look for a couple locations that would fit the bill. And talking to some of the owners of these locations, I'm pretty confident in two or three of them that we will be able to certainly do that. So a couple of them, to draw out some locations. We talked to the owner of Chase Manor, which I think is probably one of the more likely ones we're going to try to do, especially because of the closeness of it. It's an hour and a half from Watertown. So anybody locally that enjoys the channel that wants to try to maybe win a trip to an investigation with us, that's something where any investigation that you guys may join, it'll be your responsibility to get to the location as far as travel expenses or getting there. But once you're at the location, we would pay for the investigation fee, the overnight fee for staying, and Chase Manor is a location where you're able to stay. And we would pay for dinner and stuff like that. So, and if it's a bed and breakfast, you would get your breakfast included in the investigation price. So Chase Manor is one location that we've been looking at. I know Wildwood Sanitarium we've talked about because it's a big location where we could take several people. And again, you can stay the night, and we order food for everybody, stuff like that. Yeah, so like Brad said, the owner, because like I said, on every investigation we do, we have it in the back of our mind. We need to, set up a contest or set up somewhere we can bring people who want to join us in on an investigation. Um, and Chase Manor, I mean, I've been to twice. Wildwood, a lot of members of our teams have been two times. Several of us have been there three times, and it's always active. So we want to take you guys to a location that we're fairly certain that you're going to get activity. So We want you guys to experience what we experienced. So yeah, so Brad's been there 3 times. We went there with Brother Frank TV. We went there with Chiza Chad, John Matrix, and I think they were kind of blown away by how active it was. So yeah, so that's coming soon, guys. And another thing too, like when I said, we want you guys to join us on an investigation and have it be your responsibility to meet us there. That's why we're kind of holding off until the springtime, summertime to do this. But what we are going to make it happen this year, I would say probably in the May, June, July range, is when we are kind of zeroing in on running the contest or running like the promotion or whatever you want to call it. So we haven't exactly figured out 100% details yet as far as like what we're going to do, if we're going to have 2 people win a contest that join us, or if we're going to say, hey, let's take a whole group of everybody who shows interest in joining. If we get 10 people to do it, or 10 people that show interest, um, we haven't figured out quite yet what we want to do. So again, your guys' feedback will help us decide that. So if you guys say, hey, I want to just join your group as like one guest investigator, or me and my friend will join you guys, so that way we can experience everything the way you guys investigate. Or if you feel more comfortable with, like, let's say maybe some more novice or some beginning investigators, so that way you guys can all experience what it's like, kind of like a ghost hunting or investigating 101 type course or something. So I'm just gonna bring this back up. Yeah, so like Brad said, we're gonna post in the group as it comes up, the details on how to do this. Pretty much it's gonna be like, we'll make a video, we'll announce it during live streams, and like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm not sure who if they got cut out through the audio or not, but this Sunday, I just called it a Sunday sit down, just for lack of a better term, but this is something that we want to do every Sunday. Just sit down for a half hour, 40 minutes, however long, the live stream lasts, and just pick your guys' brains and get feedback from you guys. So it's something that, we're looking forward to doing and hoping to continue doing it. I think maybe the more we do it, the more people are going to realize, hey, every Sunday at 5, Derek or Brad or Dan or whoever will jump on here and just chat with you guys. So make sure you guys, let us know in the comments. Let us know. You can message any one of us within the group. We'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. Um, I know a lot of us are busy with, jobs, kids, and, we're doing this on the side. We're not like professional or anything like that. But, that's our ultimate goal, to try to get to that point where we can do this full time and make videos and just investigate. But, that's further down the road, obviously. But I'm looking up. My chat goes away after a while. Paranormal investigation classes, on the job training. Yeah. So that would be fun. Brad's always available. Yeah, so if you guys ever have a question, I know we had a member reach out to me through Facebook Messenger about, pretty much what we just talked about joining an investigation. So we do know that there is a big interest in people to join us on investigations and to kind of, experience what we experience. So we are going to definitely make that happen. Like I said, there's a couple locations that we've already talked to the owners, and they're on board with it. So it's just a matter of figuring out a time at this point. And that's another thing too. If there's any location that you guys watched and saw us go to, and you guys are like, man, I wish I really went to that location, or I would love to investigate that with the group or on my own, or something to that effect, just let us know what locations are your guys' favorites. And you never know, that could be a location that we could work something out with. So let us know. Sorry, I'm still adjusting this. It doesn't stay up for very long, so I don't really see it. But other than that, guys, I mean, I'm droning on. So anyone want to ask any questions in the chat? I got my coffee here. Oh, Brad brings up a good point. Extra equipment. Yeah, so don't think that you guys need a whole arsenal of equipment if you guys want to join us on a ghost hunt or a paranormal investigation, whatever you guys want to call it. We have plenty of extra equipment. We have extra K2 meters. We even have extra cameras. We have voice recorders. So if you guys join us on an investigation, if you don't have your own equipment, we'll hook you up with um, some for the investigation, as far as like you guys can use it the whole night. And then I will upload like the SD card from the camera. I will upload all your audio files, and I will personally go through all the evidence for you guys. And then we'll even like print out like a little SD card that will show like all the evidence that you captured on the ghost hunt. So that's something we can certainly do. And Brett has flashlights, so every investigator has like a piece of equipment or paranormal tool that's their go-to piece. So Brad loves flashlights. So I have some of those. So if you guys see Annabelle here, she says hi. She's doing well. She hasn't moved yet, which is a good thing. So yeah, like Brad said, we have huge plans. Sorry, my camera. I had a tripod all set up and then it broke. So yeah, bud, you like that Annabelle? That Annabelle's pretty cool. So the story behind. So on TikTok, you'll kind of see how we came across Annabelle. So like I said, anything you see on TikTok's more meant to be like humorous and stuff like that. Sometimes we do throw some actual evidence that we capture at these locations on our TikTok. But Annabelle actually was made. Well, actually, the Annabelle I got off Amazon. So just so everyone's aware, this is not the real Annabelle, but it's pretty close. So actually, let me show you guys so that way you can see like how this cabinet is made. Yeah, so this was a custom made cabinet, and I will throw the link to the Facebook page where you guys can see this man's work. His name is Chad. His Facebook page is Chad Custom Collectibles, and he makes some awesome equipment and like bars and cabinets, and you guys just gotta check out his Facebook page once. Sorry, I can't really see what I'm doing when I'm showing you guys this cabinet, so I'm sorry if it's kind of all over the place. I'm just trying to show you guys the whole cabinet. So, and it does have a LED light in there. Let me see if I can turn it on. The battery's been kind of wonky on it. Yeah, the batteries are dead on. I gotta replace it. So yeah, so I will throw the link to his Facebook page up. So yeah, so that cabinet we actually picked up when we went to the Warren Paracon because he lives out in that area. So sorry if that was kind of jumbled for you guys, but couldn't really see. I was trying to do it and then look at it through my other screen, but I forgot that there was a delay on my other screen, so that didn't really work out too well. So sorry about that. Let me see if I missed any chat. Oh yeah, the sunglasses. So I actually forgot I put them on her. So I was looking for my sunglasses one day. Then my son walks into my office and he's like, "Why are there sunglasses on Annabelle?" I'm like, "Oh, that's where they went." So yeah, guys. So like I said, Chad, he custom made that case. That's actually one of two cases, because obviously there's the real Annabelle case that was made. Um, and the other case like this is actually at the real Conjuring House. That's where I saw it. I followed. It's called the Farm on Round Top Road. That's their official name because of like movie rights. They can't call it the Conjuring House. So I actually follow their page on Facebook, and they have this whole setup right in their house too. If you guys follow Madison Heinzen on TikTok, she does a whole bunch of funny stuff with their case and their dolls. So I reached out to him, asked him, how much it was to build one, and he gave me a price, and it was an awesome price for what it is. So I jumped on it, and guys, he does amazing work. He does Jason, he does like Avengers, Marvel Universe like themed stuff. You guys just gotta go take a look at his like cabinetry and stuff. Awesome. So All right, guys. Well, thank you guys all for joining in. Like I said, this is something I plan to do hopefully every Sunday or so. Sunday around 5 is the time that I'm shooting for. I'm not sure what works best for everybody in the group or everybody um, that's out there watching. So if you guys have a better time that you'd rather see us do a quick live sit down for half hour, 45 minutes, just let me know again in the comments. Let us know in the group, message us, reach out to us. Um, so that way we know what time works best. But other than that, I think that's the time that I'm aiming for. Just to sit down with you guys, take any questions, give any answers, give you guys a upcoming look on what we have coming for investigations, or maybe even chat about the video that just released, or anything you guys want to talk about. It's fair game. So thanks for tuning in, and we hope to catch you on the next live stream, which will be next Sunday at 5, unless anything changes. But we will continue to post it in the group. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and hope to talk to you guys soon. Hope you're enjoying the videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and we will see you next time.